even imagine what the only negative I could see.
There is.
Well, the negative I would see is not to the adoption, but if you're not screening the people that are adopting kids,
correct,
that could be very bad. And there are, there was that point where, because when my wife and I looked into adopting, and they do make it, at least here in California, I know it was really difficult. You have to foster, and then you could foster a kid for years, and then they could get taken back to the family and all this other stuff. You have to do all these things. You can't just adopt a child. So then people would go to other countries, Russia and China, and then they stopped doing adoptions there because it got so crazy. Oh, now my neighbor's got a air blower going on. That's nice.
It's good audio.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. That is literally
no. But you raise a good point, because that's something that I don't agree with the idea that there's no negatives to adopting, because as I have met in my previous work, I've met at least one family of an adopted child who should not have. I don't think was the best decision for them to adopt, just based on that family's circumstances and a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't think it was a good idea for that kid. And that's sad, because there's already enough kids that, that don't have a family to be adopted to. And now there are some who are willing to adopt, but probably aren't the best fits for them. But that is, I think that's less, that's not as big of a problem as I don't think people should think it is. I guess I think that more families are really sincere when it comes to it, but there's a reason why those processes are so long and so stringent, because they really want to make sure that these kids are going to do their best, and also aren't going to be sold into like sex slavery and stuff, right, which is the thing that happens. So
for sure. And I think that's the thing that's the negative. I would say the negative to adoption, but it's not really the negative to adoption. That's the downside to the process and slavery and all these other things. As long as the process is done properly and good people are getting kids, that part there's no negative to, in my opinion. There's not much negative in finding a home for a kid who needs a home, a family who needs a family, right? I mean, what would be the downside to that?
Absolutely. So we got there's two more calls that I really want to get to before the end of the show here, and we're getting short on time, but there was a bit of a delay in our show, so hopefully we can get to both of them. I want